Well, it's another Monday, and it's another day where we have to pick up the pieces and figure out these forced trades. This is what AFL Fantasy is like in 2026, and we're here to walk you through it. Let's go!
Hodges done it from nowhere. Blasted the goal from inside the 30. Sheed from the boundary. Dusty.
The legend becomes immortal.
G'day and welcome to the Ball Boys AFL Fantasy Podcast. I'm your host, Mitch Casey, and you can follow me on Twitter at Ball Boys Fantasy, and you can follow the show on Twitter as well at Ball Boys AFL. I am joined as always by coach of the mighty Oxlongs, Luke Rogerson. Mate, how are you? How was your long weekend? Did you have a nice Easter?
The Easter part of it was nice. The fantasy part of it was not nice.
Yes.
It was pretty morbid scenes coming into the Ball Boys HQ just now. There wasn't much pep in either of our steps. And if you don't mind, I'll share the quote that you gave, which was, I don't have anything to give to anyone.
It's what I will say. I'll try and find some inspiration from some point. This is, and I think a lot of people will agree with me, this is the hardest beginning to an AFL fantasy season that we've had since COVID.
Not if you just paid up for every fucking player.
Yeah, but I feel like if you are a subscriber to the Ball Boys, if you're someone who takes your fantasy seriously and you subscribe to the theory that value is important, that we want to start with players under price and sort of things, like there's no possible way you've missed all these bullets. There's no possible way that a lot of those good coaches are doing well. I think now, if you are doing really well this season and you've started, you've probably done a few things differently to what we would have done, and good on you for doing that. But I would say that there are a lot of people high up in the rankings who, let's say if they were doing anything similar to what we preach on this podcast, they probably weren't high up in the rankings in previous seasons, because it's so far through 4 rounds, the method that has been successful has not been the method that has given people success so far.
Yeah, it's interesting.
In the past few years, I should say.
I think there's some bits and pieces that we need, some takeaways that we need to know. This is not the podcast for it, but I think that especially how we approach those early buys, like I look back at the opportunity that I had to trade in like a Lockie Ash or a Wayne Miller, and I moved away from an early buy player for the reason of the early buy. But I think there's maybe some truth to the fact, and like I said, this is one for another podcast, but that we have to consider those players that start the year hot, even if they do have an early buy. All that aside, because we're getting into the weeds a bit early, how's the team looking? Keep in mind, we are recording this at the halfway point of the last game.
We're recording this at 4:41 p.m. Australian Eastern Time, which, bloody hell, no more daylight savings, which I'll bring that back. So the team right now, look, I have moved up in the rankings. I, at the moment, have scored a 1667 with Tanner Bruhn still playing. So he's my only player left on field. His score won't start counting until he reaches 57 and more, with Darcy Parish being the player that was the best scoring player that won't count, my 19th player, Jagger Smith being my 18th best player. So as soon as he equals Jagger Smith's score of 57, he will start counting. He's on 41 as we speak right now. This has moved me up from, I think I was about 15,000 before, to 7,645th in the rankings. However, since the start of this game, because I don't have Bailey Smith, I don't have Max Holmes, I don't have Grind Myers, I don't have Dylan, I don't have anyone except for Tanner Bruhn, which everyone really basically has, I am moving backwards. So I think by the end of the game today, I should be probably in the 8,000 somewhere, which, look, I thought I was optimistic this is going to be a round that I move up, because I had no round 4 buy players outside of Flanders. I didn't have a Whitfield or an Ash or a Sinclair. So I'm happy that I'm moving up, but I thought I could have scored a bit bigger. Like, my premiums really flopped. My biggest score was the score that I captained with the Zorko, 116.
That's good coaching, man.
And at the start of the week, I didn't think that was going to be my biggest score. So, yeah, doing the most I can, I think, but it's still tough. What about you?
Well, if you think 8,000 is bad, just strap yourself in here. And I was a little bit spacey there while you were talking because I was in the process of changing my team name to the Ox Shits.
He's full believer.
I think it's about that time now.
Full believer, Kronk.
As I previously mentioned, the new update doesn't allow profanity in the team name. So I even tried a little 1 instead of the I. Didn't like that. So I've gone with
tactical asterisk.
An asterisk there, and it seemed to like that. So it's the Ox Shits now, and it's the Ox Shits because my current rank is 45,000. Mitch,
Yes.
45,000 is where my current rank is, and you did mention on Wednesday's Patreon Q&A that there was at least one shit trade in there. There was at least one self-inflicted.
I think there's been one move that if I go back, I said I probably would have done that. But a lot of it's been bad luck.
There's been a bit of a flow-on effect, to be fair. But yes, it's been horrific, and we'll get into it in a second as part of our round in review. Do you want to do Sponge first?
Yeah, let's do the Sponge of the week.
Who lives in a pineapple under the sea? Absorbent and yellow and porous is he.
There's a bit of fortune about this one. Dare I say, a little bit of kissed behaviour.
Surely everyone's traded
in this one. Because if you still have someone like an Archie Roberts after his 59, look, he's gone 86, 82 his last two, which is about where he started the season in terms of price. He all of a sudden went absolutely whack with a 136 points in a beatdown from the Bulldogs. And there was a distinct change in, I think, the strategy after that first quarter with them, where they possessed the ball like crazy. 12 marks, 29 kicks out of his 37 disposals. I think someone also said that he was, on the commentary team, it might not have ended up at the end of the game, but he was basically going 100% kicking efficiency for the whole game because he was kicking it nowhere.
Kicking it to Zach Reed.
Except for back and forth. Then when he decided to kick, he just kicked it long, and that counts as an effective kick. So very, very Sponge-like behaviour from him specifically, but also a few of the other defenders from Essendon.
And I mean, Essendon, I won't say they were in the contest after halftime, but they
did change it a little bit the last quarter and a half.
I mean, the fact that they had reasonably equal amount of marks with the opposition this week was crazy, but a lot of it, like you say, was just chipping. But it was spongy from Archie Roberts.
If you were kissed enough to still have him in your side, that was a very, very welcome sight. Maybe this is something we're going to see more of. This is kind of what led them to be the highest scoring fantasy team 2 years ago. Maybe they finally decided that they're going to possess the ball a bit more. Don't know, but it's good signs for him.
We changed the Camel twice halfway through this weekend, but I'm glad that you settled on both of these guys. Let's get humpy.
My hump, 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 my hump.
It's like a hoppy hump over there.
Let's get humpy.
Look, I was doing it was a bit of rockets halfway through, changing the run sheet, putting the Camels in, and to a degree it worked a little bit at times, but not fucking good enough. Zach Butters and Jai Caldwell. They both deserve it. One's ubiquitous, one's very lowly owned, and both are premium midfielders in our teams. And these boys just fucking suck, and their team fucking sucks.
Yeah.
And I think it is discouraging both of them, specifically Caldwell, and they just are not showing the fight and the intensity that we've seen from both of these players in seasons gone past. And I am worried about these guys, Luke.
No, both flaccid in my books. Butters, we talked about this over the weekend. I did not expect... Certain teams I didn't expect to be as competitive as they are, namely, early days, North Melbourne, West Coast, Melbourne.
Yep.
But I did not expect Port Adelaide and Essendon to be quite this shit. I wasn't expecting either to make finals or anything like that.
No.
But I thought we would see a level of competitiveness. And even the fact that 2 years ago, Essendon were a high-scoring fantasy team, I thought, well, maybe they're going to possess the footy. Maybe there's something.
New coach, they're talking about a more possession-heavy game style.
You're talking about Port Adelaide here.
Sorry, from Port Adelaide. Yeah. Essendon, same sort of thing. Like, what the hell? They're healthy was the whole thing. They got their players back. Zach Butters just talk about here. So he had the Green Mile. It was a big reason why we started both him and Rosie.
Of course.
Price at 99.9, I think basically at 100. He had 4 games. North Melbourne, Essendon, West Coast, Richmond. Green.
Yeah.
He's averaging 101.5. And that includes a 144-point game against Essendon. It has been pathetic because... And right now, I tweeted this out, Zach Butters is banished from the big boys for the rest of the season. His team is not good enough, and he is not the player that can score well enough in a poor scoring side. When this is the kind of performance you put up in positive matchups, I cannot trust you.
It's so bad as well because we kind of... I think we do, you and I overrate Zach Butters a little bit just because we have previously loved watching him as a player. But the fact that he can... does he have like one tackle combined in
One
his last
tackle in the
games?
last 2 games, yeah. He had 13 tackles in the first 2 games.
Which, yeah.
I don't know where that went.
It's... I don't know. I'm ready to throw my hands up. But
Yeah.
yes, very Camel-y behaviour from both of these guys.
And Jai Caldwell, like, we were defending him in these first few games.
He looks limp.
There was no defending him in that last game.
Limp as hell.
Absolutely pathetic. 43 last point quarter. Kicked a goal. He's kicked a goal in every game so far. The only reason he got there is because the intensity of the game actually lifted a little bit.
Yeah.
0 points second quarter and just was running around. No interest in the game at all.
The way I kind of read this is like his game in previous years has been built on like he starts scoring at the contest, he accumulates possessions, he lays a few tackles, and that gives him the energy to go and maybe get a few of those +6s. When there's nothing happening at the contest, I haven't checked what the final ruck contest number was for this game, but we talked about it was like less than 30 at halftime basically. There's no contest, there's no opportunity for him to do his thing, and then that kind of like limits any scoring opportunity outside of that.
Yeah, it was a pathetic effort and very, very disappointing from him. Averaging 88.5 so far this season. So, yeah, he gets a very deserving Camel of the week. Let's talk about the BOGs and Flogs.
Oh, big boys! Hang on a second, big boys. Oh, that's...
Lock in, Luke.
You naughty big boys.
The winner of the Norm Smith medal.
You're an embarrassment to what you do, mate.
Mate, I just want the week to be done.
You're already fast forward.
I want to bring in the end of the week. Fuck this week. It's big boys.
Brisbane versus Collingwood. Let's go back to this one. Best on ground. Now, he wasn't best on ground for most of the game. However, if it wasn't for this quarter, Luke, I would have been even more upset with my weekend because Dane Zorko's fourth quarter, 50 points he had in that, 51, I think, specifically. That gets the best on ground. We could have given it to Washcroft. He was very good as well. But Zorko, that 50-point quarter allowed me to put the captaincy and take the VC. All the other options that I was going to go through, basically the rest of my team sucked. There were no other good options. My only other tons for the week were Lockie McAndrew, Dan Houston, and Jai Sarong. So no matter where you looked, bad scores everywhere. So the fact that Zorko got it done, I'm very, very thankful for.
Josh Dacos had a chance on Thursday night to step up and say, hey, with Nick out, I can carry this team.
Yeah, I'm the Dacos now. Look at me. I'm the Dacos now.
He did not. That little goatee just couldn't get it done.
Oh, he sat on the bench.
Yeah, Josh Dacos. 25 touches, but it's the lack of marks. And I mean, Collingwood, we talked about, couldn't get their game style going.
Yep.
And I think their total team score had a 12 in front of it, which is not what you want.
Not good, and especially in the second half when he did move more into that midfield, his tog really took a nosedive. So not what we wanted to see. Let's go to North Melbourne versus Carlton. Best on ground. Look, there wasn't too many massive scores in this one, apart from Caleb fucking Daniel somehow, who got the quad dub, by the way. Triple dub with the marks, 10 marks. Not quite the tackles, but I'm going to give it to Nick Newman. First game back, 92, and there were moments in this game before Carlton lost their shit again. There were moments, especially in the first half, first 3 quarters, you actually saw players like Sam Walsh leading to space because they knew there was someone competent to kick them the ball. And the connection between Walsh and Newman is a real thing.
You said this prior too, so I give you a bit of credit here.
And yeah, so just not only for his 92, he's an option for us to trade into, but for what he might potentially be able to do for some of those midfielders in Carlton when they're not getting tagged and thrown to the forward line. Fingers crossed. We need some fucking good news, but he gets a bog for just lifting the spirits at Carlton from a skill level a little bit.
Yeah, I love that. 9 marks from his 17 touches, which is exactly what we love.
Kicked a goal.
19 touches. Because he's a guy that will have 25, 30 touches a game. On
tackle
occasion.
should be higher too, I think, normally.
So
one tackle.
I think given that he's priced so cheaply, and we've now seen a week of it, definite trade target. We'll talk about that later.
The flog in this one, and I'm the fantasy nuffy. I watch footy in a different perspective, but I want to talk to you here, Luke. Michael Voss. Sam Walsh is getting tagged.
Yes.
So what do you do with a Sam Walsh to break the tag and maximise his impact on the game? What would you do?
Well, you watched the second half of this game. I tuned out. But from what I've heard, he was sent forward. Now, there's certain players that you send forward, in my opinion. So you've got players like Bontempelli, Jordan Dawson.
Isaac Heaney.
These kind of guys that if they're copying a tag, you know what, go forward. Because guess what? If you played full-time forward, you're almost a bloody top 24.
You're good.
You're probably top 10 forward at the top. But there are certain midfielders.
Isaac Rankin, you send these guys forward. Cosy Pickett, boom, go, be effective.
There's certain midfielders that I don't think you send forward, and Sam Walsh is one of those guys. And
if Sam Walsh had to play a forward position, like if he went to a team and like you have to play forward, that's the position you have to play. I don't think he gets on a team. Like maybe
he's still Sam Walsh,
but he's not.
I understand the point.
That's not what he's good at.
It's not his game. So, I mean, I would prefer to see a player like that go, okay, I'm getting tagged. And if I'm not finding much of the ball, I'm just going to go stand on the opposition's best player, make it a 2-on-1 situation, see what they do from there. And guess what? The opposition's best player is probably going to take me to the ball. Yep. And I might even get some +4s.
Yeah, tackle him. But like, and so this is the thing for me. Like, you are letting the tagger win. If you are tagging Sam Walsh and the opposition team moves him to the forward line, you're licking your lips. You're going, great, thank you. We did what we wanted. He's now out of the game. He's not going to be influential. So that's what happened in the second half for Walshy. And I'm actually glad it didn't work. He had a beautiful clearance. One little tap over from behind the back from Pitnet, sent a clearance out. I think it was the only one that quarter, essentially, at the time. And then the very next rotation, they scored a goal immediately off it. Very next rotation, he's in the forward line. It didn't make any sense to me. So, Vossi, you are the flog, mate.
Adelaide and Freo was perhaps the game of the round to this point. We'll keep tabs on this Monday game. But I want to contest this Lachlan McAndrew as the bog in this game because...
Oh, mate, this guy's the man.
This is just the latest domino to fall in the saga that is fuck Luke. Because when, of course, I traded in Tristan Sherry... You get suspended.
Yep.
And at the beginning of this week...
You're trading Grundy, right? We spoke, that was the last time we
Correct.
left it.
So, Sherry, look, I just got to suck it up. I'm going to go across to Grundy.
That was a great trade. He scored 130.
Great trade, brought it across. Hang on a second.
Oh.
Enter L. McAndrew on, was it the Friday night?
Yes.
He goes 113 or whatever he went.
Yep.
And so now I'm thinking, well, I can't have that score sitting on my bench.
No, absolutely not.
So what do I need to do here? I need to probably just bring in the red dot, get that good score on field, park Grundy for a second, maybe just hold McAndrew for a little bit longer.
Yep. The threat of the rob seemed to be gone.
It did, and even if he played, he was, McAndrew was going to play the high tog. Now, that seemed a good move at that point.
Yeah.
Seemed okay. Now, fast forward a little bit. I'm getting ahead of myself, but you might be playing along at home and realise that Tim English is now out for 3 to 6 weeks. And so now I have...
What would have been nice would be to have a nice little Brodie Grundy there.
It would be nice to just have Grundy and I could just pop English maybe on the bench for a little bit and play with McAndrew. And now I've gone and fucked myself up.
Now you're back where you were a week ago and you've gone absolutely nowhere. You've cost yourself 20 points.
This shit is the gift that keeps on giving.
Unbelievable. But for McAndrew himself, absolutely diabolical. He had 13 tackles, if you don't mind, Luke.
Yeah.
Just animal. 8 disposals for 113 points. I think that he is absolutely locked into that ruck one. And I don't think Rob will be there next week after he sealed the game with his turnover kick into the man on the mark.
It was pretty bad.
Lost them the game. The flog in this game here was Shea Bolton for doing exactly what we thought he could do. The fact that he did it immediately is what is the biggest kick in the guts.
We know this guy. We know what this guy can be. And let's be honest, that 60 is a saved score. He scored 30 in the fourth quarter. That could have been even worse.
Half his score came in the last quarter, so...
A little bit of vindication there for us. We watched him closely at the Tigers.
Port Adelaide versus Richmond. I could not pick a bog in this one. Can you find it? Because I don't think anyone deserves it in this one. Yeah, maybe Jaden Short, but he didn't turn up. Fuck him. No one has him anyway. So no one. You're all banned from the bog in this game.
Yeah, that's fair, I think.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Flog Zach Butters. We kind of drove by here before, but just another drive-by flog in this one. Come on, mate. You're a premium scorer. You're versing Richmond. Do better.
Sammy Grill, not a bad rookie score.
Yeah, it was all right.
Yeah.
He was all right, yeah.
West Coast and Sydney, Brodie Grundy can get the bog because for those people that stuck fat and did trade him in,
You obviously
Yep,
rewarded
got
there.
rewarded 137, massive score.
Got a tougher matchup this week, but you are an owner, and I suspect that maybe there might even be a few more owners with you after the Tim English news.
Shout out to Jai Sarong
Yeah,
as well.
you finally won Rookie Roulette.
We won Rookie Roulette. Hey,
go.
I'm glad that went our way because if it didn't, fuck me. So he went 105, kicked a goal early, 10 marks, was playing high tog. And this guy likes to play high tog. And when you play against West Coast and you're on the ground a lot, chances are you're going to find the footy. So he looked really good. So very happy with him. Again, not too many relevant players in this one that didn't go well from the Sydney side. But Harley Reid, he was doing a lot of floggery, both for fantasy and just in general as well. Gave away several free kicks. And it just doing the things we've seen Harley Reid do before. 41 points, mate.
He got that James Jordan level attention.
He
That's
did.
That's no joke.
Yeah, it's no joke. And a little bit harsh there, but not too much else to talk about. Melbourne versus Gold Coast, best on ground. Max fucking Gawn. This was supposed to be a tough matchup, man.
Put the crown on him.
He's the GOAT. He is the GOAT. 121, kicked a goal, 32 hit outs, 22 touches. The man every single week is just going 120, 120, 120.
We've got to throw out the too old playbook here.
He's absolutely fine. He is, I want to say, the highest averaging player. Well, Nick Dacos, but obviously he missed. So he has scored the most amount of fantasy points out of everyone so far. And Rux is supposed to be dead and he's supposed to be too old. So I don't know where that leaves us with him.
In a game, you come to the home of footy as the Gold Coast, and this is your opportunity. Only two games at the MCG all year for the Gold Coast Suns, and you expect the midfield to stand up and just, be licking their chops at an opportunity like that.
Absolutely.
Noah Anderson here is fraudulent as a premium midfielder in fantasy.
He's taken to a new level this year. His just lack of thirst, lack of dominance. He just is so mid, as the kids would say.
The kids.
Yeah, the kids who are probably adults now because that's not cool anymore. But yeah, he just doesn't get it done. Can't capitalize on good matchups. Can't do anything in average matchups. Wait till he has a hard game and he will struggle.
Fucking bad. Essendon and the Doggies.
Yes.
Jacob Farrow.
Mate.
Was the rookie everyone should have been on?
It should have been him over Lindsay. He had 101 points, 12 marks, got involved in that Essendon chip to chip.
His cash end's gonna be through the roof.
massive target, I think, for a lot of players this week, because if they're going to continue to do that, even every couple of weeks, it's going to be a must have.
You couldn't make your mind up here with the flog.
So the flog is Darcy Parish, Lockie Blackiston, Jai Caldwell, injuries, and Michael Selwood all sucked in this game.
So bad.
There's a lot. Everything was actually looking good. Not good, but just not horrible until this game. I couldn't trade out. I didn't trade out Parish. I decided to go and get the rookie out first because I had no injuries up until that point. I thought everything's going fine. I'm going to trade out Parish next week. It's all good. I'm going to try to go for that best 18 score. Not only did he not count for my best 18, so it was pointless. He's going to go down to cash. We picked up an injury in this side, defeating the purpose of holding him. And then, so this is what we alluded to earlier. Tim English down with a MCL. He also played the very, I would rage-inducing 53% Tog, Luke.
Oh yeah.
Were you watching this one?
I watched a little bit with you, but
yeah. So did you see the injury?
No.
So he hobbled off. I think it was in like the second quarter or third quarter or something like that, early in the third. Hobbled off, getting assessed. Went back out on the field for a little bit and then came back off immediately. I don't know if he was over the 50% threshold at that point when he came off the first time and if by going out. But if he was and he went back out onto the field only to come back off immediately, and people who had like a McAndrew at their R3 position missed out on that by the 3%, I'd be throwing remotes at the TV if that was the case, because that is white line fever right there. So
it's dirty stuff. No blogs and flogs for this current game, but they do feature in the next segment, which is our spicy takes. Are you feeling hot, Mitch?
I am. Mine aren't, but yours There's still a chance, although he's put up a better quarter here.
I'm going the early crow.
You going the early crow?
Okay, so Patreon spicy take this week, Caldwell 120, did not get up.
It was a Caldwell 120 under the roof. Not only did it not go under 20 or 120, there was also no roof. They opened the roof.
Oh,
so I think that's negatives. Is
negative spicy take.
What I'm seeing.
Your Jack Steele call was 10 tackles, which we would have loved, but we still love what we see from Jack Steele.
It got stolen by Sparrow. Actually, I think there's a typo. I said Sparrow. Go back and look at the tape. I said Sparrow, 10 tackles. That was the spicy take. So
now, if there's anything I've learnt in my fantasy career, it's that calling your wins early never has repercussions.
Yeah, it always goes well.
And so my spicy take of Grind Myers sub 60. We have 6 minutes left to go in the third quarter, and he's on 43. So
he was looking good till half. So at half time, he had, 23 points? He has put up 20 points to go in this.
I think we're good.
In this third quarter.
Should I take it to the whiteboard? Or do you think I should reserve judgment?
No. We need all the help we can get, Luke. So do not moz this one. I do need this to go through.
By the time we get to the end of the show, we might have more news on that spicy take.
Yeah. All right. Let's talk strategy chat. And the first question I've got here, Luke, I need you to help me and help the audience. How do we keep the faith in the season alive? How do we keep faith in AFL Fantasy as a pastime? How do we keep faith in ourselves, in mankind? What are we doing here?
Well, I was going to say turn to religion, but this, for a lot of us, is our religion.
It is, mate.
It's failing us.
Yeah, it's not going well.
And this is meant to be the resurrection weekend.
Yes.
There is no erection in sight. I'll tell you that for free.
That's for sure.
Mate, only death, despair, anguish, destruction, all of the above. It's horrific. All we can, I would say, point to is that if we stick with it, we're going to hike the comeback trail. And we're going to hike the comeback trail, just pure tenacity over those people that just get a little bit cozy up in those good ranks. They maybe miss a late out, or they don't.
Yeah, a bit overconfident.
Yeah, forget to get their trades in. But we like I said, through sheer tenacity, resilience, perseverance.
Yes.
We're going to peg it back.
I like it.
Pegging.
I like it. Yeah, that too as well. On top of playing AFL Fantasy. I want to, and this is where I turned to this morning in my despair when I woke up this morning after seeing the poor results. And I just checked my side. I'm already back in the mid 8,000s. It might be outside of 9,000, which is not what I thought. But anyway,
just think of me.
We need to focus on process here. Right. Process over results. And I think what I was saying to you as well, trading in players like Milan Murdoch, when we had the injured premiums, I think was good process. Now, did we know he was going to do his hamstring the next game? No. So it's a bad result. Trading out players like Colby McKercher, Archie Roberts, even a Josh Lindsay, I think was decent process. There was red flags everywhere, things we didn't expect to see that we thought were going to happen in the preseason. Those guys have since done really well and performed, especially Archie Roberts this week, McKercher the last two. So you might have had to trade those guys back in, or maybe you don't have them in your side after trading them out. Good process, bad result. Someone like trading in your situation, you went to trade in Tristan Sherry, okay, or for those people who started like a Darcy Cameron or started two premium rucks to differentiate themselves from McAndrew. Well, you did that because you're worried about the dual ruck setup coming up. And it fucking happened the very next week. Rob comes in, so clearly there was good reasoning there.
Yeah.
However, obviously, not only does McAndrew smash it and have the best score of his career, not only that the same week, after the fact that you then traded in a red dot to get that score, English goes down. Now, if the matter of the order of those games just happens in a different order, totally different story. You would do something different. But good process, bad results. I just think that there's a lot that people are doing that I think are smart, educated, well-informed decisions that are just backfiring, and
we want them front firing
through no fault of their own. I think there has been a lot of just fucking hard luck stories so far.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but the temptation here, and I can feel it just boiling up inside of me, is to go and chase what you don't have. Like I said, my rank's 40 odd thousand. It's fucking shit. But if I go and now trade in to a Nick Dacos, trade into a Bontempelli.
Yeah.
The reason that the teams higher than me are ranked higher than me is because they have those fucking good players.
Yes.
So trading them in is not going to help me.
Yeah.
So coming back to your idea of process, the next step after we deal with more forced trades is to look for those underpriced premiums, the ones that are going to be less. I'm talking about a Wang coming into a good run. I'm talking about a Finn Callahan coming off his bye. This is our only opportunity to climb the ranks. We can't trade in the players that other teams already have to climb the ranks.
1,000,000%. And a lot of people will talk to and point to the fact that what we should have done, hindsight, what we should have done at the start of the season is do the whole quote-unquote guns and rookies approach. You know, have your Bontempellis, have your Bailey Smiths, have these guys, and just fill the rest of your team with rookies. All right, cool. Fair enough. But it's a different thing to start a team at the beginning of the season with guns and rookies when you've got unlimited trades to now where we're limited to 2 moves. We can't afford to pay up for these guys. Because the other thing that I'm fearing coming down the line, if we keep having to do these forced trades and they're forced trades on fantasy premium scorers, like your best ruckman or second best ruckman in Tim English, Errol Goulden, who I dare say was going to be a top 3 mid, someone like a Connor Rosie, who was definitely a top 6 defender. Petrarca, who was a top 2 or 3 forward. Like, these guys are like big losses in our fantasy sides.
That's not even to mention, people obviously. Nick Dacos has just missed a week. Yep. Jordan Dawson's missed a week. Yep. So it's not just players we
Matt
own.
Murdoch, a key rookie that's not getting cash. Devin Robinson suspends himself. Vicentini was dropped after one game.
Rosie as well?
Rosie, we talked about him. Yeah, okay. So we are. I think there's going to be a serious cash issue in a few weeks because when we're fixing these guys up, we're missing the Jacob Farrows. We're missing the now he went poorly this week, but we're missing the guys like who's the Port Adelaide? Watkins. We're missing guys like Gothard and things like that in our side because we're trying to fix these other guys, and a lot of us are paid up. And the guys who didn't pay up and went for the halfway, like the results haven't really worked in your favour so far. So the cash generation, I think, is something that will hurt a lot of teams in a few weeks to come when we're trying to upgrade our rookies to premiums. Because, we're just missing this opportunity. And the temptation there, a lot of people have been burnt by holding cash. The temptation is there spending cash, but... Like, if you're sitting there with $1.4 million after not trading in Grundy this week and you have to fix up an English, you're not going to bring in a rookie this week. But Jacob Farrow is sitting there right now he's going to have a -30, -40 break even.
That would be a terrible situation to be in.
Yeah, it would suck. And I'm sure you're not the only person to be in. So the opposite to that and the other side, so maybe if you can't afford to bring in a rookie, is you still need to be looking for premiums with value.
Yes.
Because if you're going to struggle to generate the cash, you need to save and count your dollars as much as possible so that money is going to be useful for you in a week or 2 or 3. So I think that's something that I really want to stress. That now that I was going to call upgrade season this week. I didn't actually say it out loud. But it's probably another week away.
Yeah, we've done it a couple of times over the last few years. We go a little bit premature on upgrade
season.
We want to. The Tim English injury has pretty much put a stop to that. So let's talk a little bit more specific. So Tim English, Nick Dacos, calf, don't know how long that'll be. Ed Richards was a late out in the warm-up. And,
hamstring for him.
Someone like a Blackiston moved to defence late. I think his days are very much numbered in that ruck role. That might even be over. So... where do we go with those guys? What are your initial thoughts? So
the biggest name, I think, and the most devastating injury, I think, is Tim English. Not only because he was a guy who, he didn't blow us away, but had been a somewhat successful pick up until this point. And just the fact he's in the ruck line, where if you have a Vicentini, if you've got a ZZ as your R3, you don't have cover. So if he misses, and it's the first week going back to best 22.
Yeah.
Okay, so we can't hold him. You have to have someone fill that spot. You're missing a lot of points by putting up a donut. So he needs to be fixed. The issue I think that compounds this injury is where the fuck do you go? If I just look at the rucks, the number 1 scoring ruckman so far this season is Max Gawn. Do you want to know who the next highest averaging ruck is so far this year?
Luke Jackson?
It's Tristan Sherry.
Oh.
And he just scored a 51 and he's 70 and he's suspended. So there is no player outside of Max Gawn who's a ruckman who's averaging more than 100. None of them. Max Gawn is averaging 124.5. He is 30 points clear of the next best in Brodie Grundy, which is absolutely wild to me. It is a serious conundrum where I just talked about getting value.
Yeah.
Max Gawn is dominating, and he is so far above the next best, and he's done it against good matchups, tough matchups, and everything in between. Is it a case where you just go English to Gawn now, or is there value to be had elsewhere?
The trouble is here they started the round with about sort of 60 odd grand between them. English is going to dive about 60 or 70 grand, and Gawn's going to continue to increase in price.
Yes.
So that gap is going to widen.
It'll be at least 100k difference.
Based on what we just said about
probably 130.
Counting your pennies, I think the only reasonable option with that in mind is to go to Grundy. Now, I know this week is not going to be as fruitful. He plays Jared Witts, but we saw what Gawn just did to Witts on the weekend. Is there an opportunity that when Grundy's flying, like it didn't matter for Grundy matchups last year when he got on that run as well. And so, look, to me, is this, hear this out as well, is this dependent on where your team is at as well? Because if you're absolutely humming at the moment and you kind of don't want to take the risk almost.
Gawn's safe. Gawn is the number one ruck. He's going to be top 2 ruck of the season. Like it's very clear to me now.
So if you have some of the best performing rookies, your cash gen's looking good, you watching all these other teams cop bullets around you, maybe you just go and spend up and be safe. But if you're out like where I am, why would I go to Gawn? I've got to go cheaper.
Let me put it this way. I feel more okay paying up for Gawn and paying definitely overs for a ruckman than I do for a midfielder. Yep. Because midfielders are a dime a dozen. There will be another opportunity where there is going to be a cheap midfielder at some point.
Yep.
I don't know if there's going to be another cheap ruck at some point. So you might as well just lock in the guy who's going to be the guy. He's a captain option. Like I said, he's basically the highest averaging player so far this year. Grundy would be the next option for me. Now, he has a tough matchup this week, but then goes against GWS and the Bulldogs, who won't have Tim English. That's going to turn into a very nice matchup. Yep. But then he goes Melbourne and then North, and Sherry will be back by then. So it's like a tough, too easy, too tough. But then he goes on a run of easy after that in Collingwood, Geelong, Richmond. So bit of a mixed bag there. I think he and English are probably battling it out for the number 2 ruck so far this year. So if you just want to do a little sideways move, if that money...
It's $200,000, mind you.
Yeah, if that money allows you to do something else with the other trade, I would tick it off.
100%. I would almost even tick it off with the view to that money's going to allow you to do something in subsequent weeks. 200 grand is...
Potentially.
Yeah.
The other thing is, and I'm thinking about this as well, Luke, we've lost so many good players. I'm running out of captain options. Like, if Sheasel doesn't go well, I don't have Errol anymore. I don't have Connor Rosie. I don't have Tim English.
Yeah.
Like, these guys are guys I picked in my side to put the C on. I'm running out of them.
We talked about my team looking, I think, considerably worse than it did at the start of the season. And we're now
that's a very real thing for a lot of teams out there. Your team is worse now than it was in round 1.
It's hard to stomach. So if you have your Tim English, you're trading Tim English. What are you doing with that second trade? Because unfortunately, there's actually players that we would like to be going to, in terms of a Newman, or in terms of if you don't have McKercher at this point, he's back in a great role. It's a little bit sucky that we can't get at these guys.
Yeah, well, it seems like defense has got a lot of value. So you mentioned a few there, Newman, Kitty Coleman, which we saw, he turned up. Colby McKercher, if you didn't get him in this week, the role is still there. He looks like he's locked into that role. Really slowed down the second half, but still awesome for his price. Riley Bice, have you seen his scoring? He's absolutely killing it. I think he's got 3 out of his last 4
Is he still out on the wing, Bicey?
No, he's playing half back.
Okay.
The wing is our boy Sarong. Roberts,
that's
someone else. And you've got Farrow as a rookie option. Lockie Whitfield's going to come in as a nice sort of value as a premium option, who's a little bit underpriced there. So the issue is we can't fit these guys in. There's not a lot of DPP going around. Connor Rosie was a DPP guy that we've lost. I personally am already sitting with Grill in my midfield. So you've got players like Sarong, Jakes, Houston, like if you've got a Zorko, Dacos, or any of those other round 4 guys in Sinclair, really hard to fit all these guys in. So we're going to miss probably some decent value until the DPP comes in. if you could swing some DPP, I think the defense is where a lot of the value is this week. Whether it is a grill or something like that, or using a utility spot, or if you've got a shit ton of cash and you can just go Blackiston up to one of these guys, I think that would be a really good move.
Yeah, agreed.
But we also have to factor in the structure of our team a little bit here because, a lot of the midfield options are just not doing it right now.
Okay, if there's a scenario where you haven't been riddled with bullets, actually, do you want to just talk about some of these sucky midfielders in the chopping block segment?
Yeah,
we'll skip straight ahead.
Let's chop.
Yeah.
If you wanna get out a little sound. Right,
We'd love to chop, man.
because it's also therapeutic as well.
Kung Fu fighting, let's do it. Nice, perfectly done.
Just watching you. So let's chop these players. We talked about Tim English. He's the number one guy on the chopping block. Lockie Blackiston. I'm going to go on record, and I'm going to say Lachlan Blackiston.
Lachlan.
Yeah, I'm using his full government name.
He's in
Lachlan Blackiston is the worst AFL ruckman to ever play.
Bro, Samson Ryan.
He's not an AFL ruckman. He's just a fill-in. This guy was their round one first choice ruckman. This guy is horrible. And the coach finally saw it.
Did he say something?
Well, he moved him into defense.
Oh,
He's playing key defense, which is what he played last year. And what do you know? Essendon, I know the Bulldogs probably switched off a little bit. They also lost Tim English. But they looked a lot better. And I think this is the end of Lockie Blackiston playing as a ruck. He's going to move back into a key defender, which he scored 30 or averaged 30-something last year. He, if you have the luxury, has to go. Because he is going to go backwards in cash from his already measly 439,000.
Yeah.
If you think he has been bad, he's averaged 48.5 as the number one ruck role. Wait till you see him in defence. Wait till you see this guy as a key defender.
Mate, based on Essendon's scoring this weekend, defence could be just the
I'll tell you what, they're not kicking it to him. They're not waxing with that guy. He is going. They're going to be going away from wherever he has it.
He'll be in the middle and just be over his head.
Yeah, sorry, Lockie. The other guy was just open. Long down the line this time.
The fact that he has tried to co-opt the top knot with Hayden Young is just
don't put them together. Yeah. So, I think he has to go. I would have loved to trade him after round one. We saw the writing was on the wall, but we had those injuries. If you have the luxury, and it might be a luxury because otherwise you just sit him on your bench, but he has to go. He is absolutely dead set horrible. Darcy Parish.
Poor guy.
Darcy Parish.
You can tell our team suck. We get violent with our critiques.
So another Essendon player here. He scored his worst score on the weekend with a 56.
That's
0 point last quarter. His TOG was the worst it's been, 66%. Regret not trading him out last week. I thought this was the week I'd be getting him out to someone like a Callahan with the English trade that I have to make. Makes it harder to go to the options you like to, but he has to go. Can we talk about the premiums? Players like Jai Caldwell.
Oh my God.
Sam Walsh. Zach Butters. Is it okay to trade these guys? It is normally the rule, don't trade your premiums, but we are not quite an upgrade season yet. I think if you want to trade them, it has to be this week. Otherwise, you're holding them to the buys.
To me, it's a bit of a...
Are you trading these guys?
The trouble is it's a bit of an order of operations type thing, isn't it? We can't be... This would be, like doing your math wrong. I was going to have a go at it.
Oh, yeah, go for it, mate. Yeah, go on, teacher.
No. Just put that one back in the kit bag. But the trouble is there's too many things to fix. I'm going to go out on a limb and say that people who have been listening to us probably have some more pressing issues, being Blackiston, Parish, and then also some of these rookies as well. So you talked about this last week, and this is an opportunity because maybe upgrade season hasn't started for some teams yet, is to still move on some of these shit rookies, Dolverstons, your Gallops, your Selwoods, too.
I'm so disappointed in Selwood. Essendon matchup right there. 26, mate. What are you doing?
But the trouble here is turning like a Lockie Dolverston into a Farrow this week, to me, is just as good a trade.
Oh, it's a great trade, yeah.
As getting rid of one of those premiums you mentioned, because it's just going to benefit you in terms of cash generation down the track as well. Whereas, look, with the Sam Walsh, with the Zach Butters, with the Jai Caldwell, there's every chance that next week something clicks and they come out. I mean, Zach Butters, he's 2 weeks removed from a 150 50 essentially.
Yeah.
Jai Caldwell had a huge last quarter when Essendon were competitive. What's to say that Essendon don't find a way to just
He
be
had his
a little
highest
bit
hog
more
on the weekend
competitive?
too, 80%.
Sam Walsh to me as well. If he comes up against a non-tagged game, he still has the capacity to score well. So
Adelaide shouldn't tag him.
Yeah, and you'd hope Collingwood won't the following week too. So that's the issue I have with moving on these premiums, as shit as they've been. And to me, I understand it because they're the most frustrating to watch. It's frustrating to watch a rookie suck, but it's more frustrating to watch a guy you've paid $1 million.
It is,
suck.
and they're going down in price. And so the rationale about trading them out is, okay, if they're going to be a guy that you're going to trade out anyway, trade them out while they're at their highest value, save you money in the long term. But like you said, these are the kind of guys that, like, if, for example, a Caldwell or a Sam Walsh pop a couple of big scores in a row, people are going to be jumping back on.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So I was there with Caldwell watching the game. The 43-point quarter in the last, I don't know, it saved him. It could be a curse.
Did you lean forward?
No, I couldn't. I tried to at times.
Your couch is quite deep.
It sunk me, mate. It absolutely sunk me watching him run around. I was a broken man. Tanner Bruin up to 70 points here. Let's go.
How's my spicy take looking, actually?
Let's have a look. While I'm talking about these options,
Okay.
you can have a look there. But I do think that these are lower priority options. But I would love to trade these guys out if I had 6 trades. I just think that there are so many more pressing issues to deal with.
Oh, fucking Grind owners.
What's he
Kissed.
done?
Always saving.
What's he done?
Yeah, he's 69.
Oh, well, he's already, spicy take. Big fat 0.
Mate, he could give away 3 free kicks and then break his ankle.
Maybe he could. My rank is plummeting. Still just inside the 9,000 rank. Oh, if I move outside of 10K, I'll be very upset.
Bailey Smith, another example of just paying up.
Yeah, paying up. You get what you pay for at this point in the season. He is fucking good, though. He's at 106 as we speak. But yeah, I think at this point, most likely for majority of teams, sticking with your premiums is the thing to do.
Yeah.
Which sucks because I'd fucking love to chop these guys. I would.
Give him a real good going
Someone out there, if you want to, go ahead and chop Jai Caldwell for me. Just send him a rocket and I will be very grateful.
Bit of a vicarious chop
yeah,
for you.
just send him a message.
Okay, so we've talked chopping. Obviously, what coincides with chopping, it's targeting some new players.
Mm-hmm.
Look, you can talk about some names, but my question to you is going to be, especially in defence where we've talked about some of those value options, if people are in a position to pay up for some of these defenders coming off their bye, Lockie Whitfield, Lockie Ash, Jack Sinclair.
Yeah. I mean, of those options, it's Whitfield.
So would you prefer to go to bypass a Newman and go to a Whit? Like, that's my question to you is, are we going to the top or are we still looking for value?
Before this last week started, it would have been, but I do really like what I saw from Newman. Playing for Carlton scares me a little bit. I did like what I saw from Kadeen Coleman. He plays for a good side at least. It really depends on how you foresee the trades coming in the next few weeks and what the other trade is going to do for you. It's a tough call. I think it also going to speak about like your captain option situation, like Whitfield versus Richmond could be a big captain option this week. And if your team is like mine and you're down to captains like Sheasel, Zorko and Steele as like your 3 only viable guys, you've run out of plays.
Especially when you want 2 bites of the cherry.
Yeah, exactly. He plays for North Melbourne and is suspended right now. So you could look at that. They play on... When did they play? They play the second last game of the round. So you could maybe have a look and see what your vice captain scores and, say that is someone like... who we've got early on? Well, actually, a lot of the early options like Newman plays first game, Brisbane plays the third game, so you probably have to launch on those guys, as does Colby. Yeah, so maybe that doesn't give you much help, but it's... You got to weigh up, I guess, how confident are you in those captains, because that's still a big part of scoring. So if I add all that up together, maybe it is still Whitfield, because we have lost a lot of captain options from our sides.
Yeah, I'm definitely thinking that I've got cash burning a hole in my pocket too, so I need to spend it in some way, shape or form. Run us through some of those trade targets. Give us some names.
Yeah, well, so Jacob Farrow, let's start there. He's going to have an enormously low break even. Again, in a week where a lot of us probably want to get points on field, we want to get these guys in. How important do you think a player like this is going to be when you've got a rookie who's able to score a ton in a backline that if they chip the ball around, which especially I think after the first quarter seemed like a concerted effort for them to do, and it was between the guys that can actually kick it. Like Farrow of the team, he's probably got one of the best kicks in the side. There's a chance that he's going to make 400K.
Yeah, I mean he's priced 400,000 as well. So
and the thing is, if you don't go this week, up 100,000.
Yes,
and it's
easy,
very quickly out of reach.
Yeah, I agree. Look, this one to me falls into the category of like fixing up one of those failed rookie picks. And like I said before, I still kind of feel good about making that pick because even though it's not giving you that instant sugar on the field, it's like, hey, the cash gen down the track is going to be worth it when it comes to the end of upgrade season and we're all just starting to kind of run out of cash a little bit. Mm-hmm. That being said, you have to evaluate your team and basically say, okay, well, we're back to best 22 this coming week. And I'm going to look at a team that still has fucking, like, probably Leo Lombard and Devin Robertson on the field and fucking maybe Todd Marshall's the next best guy after that. Yeah. Like, that's the team I'm looking at, and looking at a team that has Blackiston, Sarong, and the Frenchman Jacques is, like, that's genuinely the bottom line of my defense at the moment. So
it's a very hard position to be in.
So what am I going to do? Trade in Farrow to have 3 genuine rookies playing on field? Like, that's just not going to happen, is it? So I think if you're in that kind of situation, your hand is forced a little bit, and you just have to say, "Sorry, mate, I've got to, miss you to Mr. Farrow."
You got to hope that there's going to be other cash cows coming later.
Yes,
that are going to be just as good as this.
However, if your team's in a better spot, and you look at your team and think, "Oh, I'm playing maybe 2 rookie defenders there, but then from D4 up to D1 are genuine kind of scoring types." Then I can see a scenario where you just go like, yeah, I'm going to pull the trigger and generate some cash.
Yeah, I think it's a move that I'm highly considering. Like a Lucky Blackiston to him just seems like an awesome pick. It does mean someone like Parrish lives another week for me. But I'm honestly at the point where I'd probably start looping Parrish with someone like a Farrow. Like fucking Farrow outscored him by like 50 points this week.
Yeah, fair.
Maybe I have the discussion and decide, fuck it, let's put Farrow on. Put Parrish on the bench. And yeah, it's 700K on my bench, probably 650 by next week on my bench, but it's still a points upgrade at the end of the day. So there's something to be said about that. So it's definitely a move you can consider. If you are looking for other upgrades, I really like the combination of one of or both, if you can swing it. Probably not many now, but Finn Callahan and Lockie Whitfield.
Yeah.
If you had a split between the two, who do you like more, Whitfield or Callahan?
I think Callahan's, I haven't checked these numbers, but I think Callahan would be more unique, wouldn't he? Because I'd imagine that there's a few owners coming off Whitfield's first 3 games. And I like Callahan as being a lowly owned guy that can potentially nudge it with some of those top midfielders that have just been killing our teams in Dacos, Dawson, Bont, these kind of guys. And
top 5% owned, less than 1%.
And given that we talked about some of the value options that we maybe want to look at in the defensive line, I like the idea of, okay, well, let's pay up for a premium mid here. And then if the bottom line, if 2 weeks' time, the bottom line of our defence genuinely looks like McKercher, Newman, Kitty Coleman, and then 3 premiums at the top, well, that's a nice.
I think there's other options of defence that there aren't in the midfield. Yeah.
So that's what swings me that way.
Okay, cool. I think I'm in agreement. I'd probably go Callahan over Whitfield as well. Because those other options of defence probably entice me more. What about someone like an Isaac Heaney? So I was really keen on him this week. I didn't want to go sight unseen, but he went absolutely gangbusters. He sat last like 10 minutes of the game too. 126. They put him on ice. Now, he's not going to versus the Eagles every week, but with no Goulden there, he's probably the main guy for them. He comes up against Gold Coast, GWS, Bulldogs, Melbourne. not many tags there. We saw Giants let Dacos and Bont do whatever the fuck they wanted. Gold Coast don't. Bulldogs don't. Is there a world he's under? Well, before the price movements, he's under $1 million. He might tick up a little bit over $1 million, but basically price at 100. Little bit of meat on the bone there. Do you like him?
Yeah, potentially. The matchups you listed, you mentioned no tags, but there's also no walkovers there either. Gold Coast are going to come out with a certain ferocity,
so, yeah.
I'd imagine. And then I think you said the Bulldogs are in there, and then Melbourne have been playing great footy. Who was the other team you said?
GWS.
So we'd expect them to be putting up a fight.
They've been bad, and you'd think they're going to change something a little bit, I assume.
Yeah, Heaney's 4 goals. You add to that, he's always going to kick himself some goals, so you can't just completely exclude that. But take the 4 goals away, and he's scored a flat ton.
Add an extra 10 minutes of the game time, though.
That's true. True. Yeah, no, fair call too. So if you're looking for value, Heaney's a guy. I think Callahan
I'd probably
has
still go
the leg up there. I think
Callahan
he's more of a
over Heaney.
genuine kind of scoring midfielder, whereas Heaney can float forward. And he can get parked sometimes.
I agree. We'll go back to the rucks for a second, and let's entertain some options outside of Grundy and Gawn. So right now, are you again, without knowing people's situation, you probably just for the value, Grundy over Gawn?
Yeah, I think so. I have to. Well, do I have to save that cash? I've got 1.4 million in the bank. But that being said, that money is only there because my team is so fucking shit.
Yeah.
It's not like, wow, I've got so much cash and I'm...
It's just you're digging out of a hole.
So I'm going to go Grundy.
Luke Jackson, can we trust him? His fixture's actually probably better than these other guys. He's got Collingwood, West Coast, Carlton, Bulldogs, the next 4. Hopefully by then, I don't know if English is going to be back by then. That's 3 weeks away, so the bottom end of that range.
No. I'm just going to say Grundy all week. I know it's only Monday and the round's not even finished, but I'm just going to say Grundy or Gawn.
Do you know what wild stat? Sean Darcy is averaging more CBAs than he is TOG.
Is he really?
How crazy is that?
That's
he is
actually
more
up.
CBAs than he is
His
time
CBA
on the ground.
percentage.
His CBA percentage is higher than his TOG percentage.
Yeah.
That's actually pretty wild. I think that's probably going to remain the same. What about someone like a Jared Witts? So
He scored 40 on the weekend.
he just scored 40, yes, but before then, 91, 115, 79.
I'm going to...
West Coast and Richmond are there, 2 good matchups. You can't really go there. Okay, here's a spicy one.
No.
What about the man who played on the VFL on the weekend? If he comes back in, could you go to $614,000 Nick Bryan as a cash grab to upgrade somewhere else?
So your R1 and R2 is Nick
Bryan and Lachlan McAndrew.
McAndrew, who, I mean, scored well on the weekend, but also that was he shared the ruck duties. We expect Rob, hopefully, to be gone.
Lachie McAndrew is currently the 5th highest averaging ruckman. Remember that week I said he'd be the top 5? He's averaging the top 5.
Yeah. No.
No.
Not side. I mean, no. I was going to say not side. No, you just can't.
The issue is you're trading into another Essendon player. Do we really want to be doing that? I think he'll be better than Blackerson, but yeah, my confidence in trading anyone from Essendon is just so low. And guess who they play this week? They play Max Gawn. They play Max Gawn into Jared Witts, the next 2. So match up. The timing, I don't think works out. The player probably with the best run for rucks is Jordan Sweet. They go St Kilda, Hawthorn, Geelong.
What are you doing?
Adelaide, Bulldogs.
No.
Can't go there. The rucks are all horrible. So part of me just doesn't want to spend money there. But are we just having to forget about that and just suck it up and just get in someone that's actually going to stay in our teams?
I think so. These guys, we're talking Grundy, we're talking Gawn. These guys have the potential to have massive scores. And if you trade in a speculator, you could be saying goodbye to your season.
Yeah.
I genuinely think you could be. At least, even if it's not value, there's some
Gawn
safety.
And Grundy keep doing what we expect them to do.
Yeah. And there's going to be some safety there. Not many people are going to fucking dabble in those names that you were talking about. So at least if it goes pear-shaped, you're going to be sinking on a well-populated ship. Can you, if I'm only trading in one of either McKercher, Newman, or Kitty Coleman, who are you trading in?
Can we throw Bison to that list as well?
Okay.
McKercher, Newman, Kitty Coleman. I am probably going to still side with McKercher first. I think we've seen it the most, He was off to an absolute flyer at the start of that last game.
Yeah.
The game heated up and he sort of went away. So I still think it's Colby first. He's been a mid-90s guy before. Youngest out of those three, I think.
I think
Newman's probably next. Again, he's been a 100 averaging player. Carlton scare me. His age, injury history scare me. So that's why I think I've got him below Colby. Then it's probably Kitty, then Bice last.
Kitty's quite a bit cheaper.
Kitty plays for a good side, probably shares it with the most amount of good players. Like, for example, Carlton, there's no one outside of Newman to take that role off him or that market share off him.
I think I want to roll the dice on Newman. I think I want to put Newman above McKercher.
What's their relative price? So 753. They're basically
the
going
same.
to this round. They're at the exact same price.
Yep.
So Colby will be a little bit more cheap, a little more expensive because he had a lower break even. They scored within 8 points of each other.
Newman, I would imagine, even after this week, is probably still going to be less owned than Colby, I would say. And he's a guy that has massive ceiling. And so from where I'm on the outside looking in and from where I am, I would, if we're splitting hairs, I'd rather take a guy that I think can take me to the promised land.
Take you to the promised lands. From a run point of view, I'd say they're both fairly similar. You've got a Richmond matchup for North in 2 weeks, but you've got a Collingwood matchup in 2 weeks for Carlton, which is nice, and a St Kilda one. Maybe the run favours Newman a little bit with the Bulldogs, St Kilda, Essendon before their bye. So, yeah, you could go Newman. He'd be more unique too. More role certainty there too.
Would you take a Tom Sparrow in the forward line over any of those guys?
I was semi-interested in Sparrow for like 5 minutes, and then I went, hold on, it's Tom Sparrow.
Mate, he said fuck you.
And he went, fuck you, went back-to-back tons. 68% Tog. I think this is one that can very easily blow up in your face. And I think against Essendon, I don't know if that's a game where he gets involved much. If the game is not contested.
Less than 70 ruck contests in the Essendon Bulldogs game on the weekend.
So he had 21 touches, 2 marks, 10 tackles. So he's got 40 points of his ton from 40% of his score from tackles. I don't think that's a healthy diet that you can really rely on. I think, hey, you traded him last week, good play. I don't think that's one I'd really back in to continue personally.
I exaggerated a little bit. It's just over 70. Somewhere between 70 and 80.
The forward line, there's not too many great options, I don't think, presenting.
There's not great options, but the trouble is we can't have the forward rookies. So, do you know what I mean? At some point we go, okay, there's not many great forward options, but if you've got Lombard and Dev Robertson on field, like I'm about to, it doesn't matter if there's no great options. You can't have these guys counting in your best 22. So, you need to have these guys move to the bench, and you're upgrading a Doveston to a Sparrow or to a...
Maybe. There might be better upgrades you could make elsewhere. Like, you might be going from like a 40 to an 80, but you might, in another line, be able to go from a 60 to a 120 because there's a higher ceiling player there.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be team by team dependent, and hopefully for someone like you, someone like a Marshall comes back in, I think he could at least be serviceable for a 60 or a 70, which you'd be... okay having on your field for a few weeks. It's tough. It's really fucking tough. But I think we might leave it there with those, lovely words of hope.
Death,
destruction. Final, let's check on the last, what have we got? 5 minutes to go in the game.
Close
here.
game.
Bailey Smith, 122.
We got to get off, mate, and watch this one. We got a point in it.
Connor McDonald there, 94.
The Solarium's picked up his act.
86 from Tanner Bruin. That's good. Brian Myers is there at 85. So he said, fuck you to your spicy take. I want to see, what is Tanner Bruin? 77% Tog. So that's good for him. If he is... He's out there on the field right now. So, we might get off this one and finish the last 5 minutes of that game. And we'll have a good one, guys. Good luck with your trades. Don't give up. Long season to go. We have lots of upgrades to happen, hopefully soon. So get your injury sorted. Don't forget and don't neglect your cash gen. Give your like on the video, subscribe, and that'll help your trades, hopefully. See you later. Bye.